And since I can't use a microphone, I figured I would talk loudly for a couple of minutes. Wow. That works. Turn the music off. So, I'd like to welcome all of you to Tel Aviv University for breakfast. How many people are visiting here for the first time for a breakfast? Wow. So, what I really was going to forget about what I was going to say. So, for those of you who are new, I think it's really important for you to meet other people, because I think that one of the people who have been to the breakfast for the past year, the feedback I've gotten from other folks is that what they got a lot out of it is a chance meeting of somebody else and how they've affected helping them find a job, move their business forward, or validate ideas. And I think it's really important for all of you to try to find 5 people who you don't know and connect with them. And that's what my message for you is that how many people here are on Twitter? I'm just curious. Wow. Those of you who are not on Twitter, you might want to discover it, because the last couple of years I found a lot of very interesting things. I imagine, how many people here are on Facebook? Oh. So I found a lot of value in updating status messages on Facebook and sharing information real time on Twitter. And I recently in the States had a conference called the 140 Character Conference, which for me, I learned a lot about people in the process. I found that on Twitter it's possible to ask for favors from strangers and for wishes to be granted. Particularly, I asked for strangers to introduce themselves to me to other people who I didn't know, characters, and I was very fortunate to find people from around the world that are doing very interesting things in real time because they speak the language of Twitter. And I discovered or realized that the Internet's changed. That for the last 13 years we've been living in the past. When you go to a website, Google for example, and ask for information, it's all about retrieval of archival information. And what Twitter has done, more than anything else, is brought you into the now. And when millions of people start updating their status, sharing what they're doing right now, while individual information might seem trivial, when many people are doing it simultaneously, information bubbles up. I mean, last week I found out about Michael Jackson dying on Twitter, Sarah Fawcett on Twitter, and what was happening in Iran a couple of weeks ago on Twitter. Now, as a journalist, you may argue the authenticity of the information, but the one thing you cannot argue about is that Twitter has become an early warning system for things that are happening, and that when enough people are submitting information to Twitter, you see these rising trends in real time. And so what I've discovered is that better than any other platform, Twitter has helped democratize access to information. And that in this new world of access to real-time information, whether you're here in Tel Aviv, whether in New York, or you're anywhere else in the world, as long as someone has internet access, they have access to the same information as everyone else. And that change is a very big change. And I think going forward, the real-time internet offers great opportunities for everybody who wants to play in that world. And anyone who's bored by what the internet offered before, I think has a great opportunity to be disrupted. And with the 140 Character Conference, I was able to bring together people from all walks of life, not just tech, but from journalists, from people in the media, people in sports, various celebrities. And the one thing they had in common is that they all spoke Twitter. And leading up to the conference, the day before the event, I had like 16 boxes to unpack from my car, and I didn't have a staff. So going to the venue in New York City, I put out on Twitter saying, if you happen to be in New York at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, could you help unpack? Could someone come help me unpack my car? Would you know, 8 random strangers showed up, and within 5 minutes the car was unpacked, and 6 of them stayed for the next 3 hours and printed out badges for me. And then the next day, I staffed the conference with 16 volunteers, all through Twitter. All I did was say, I'm looking for people to work the conference, and they all showed up. And it turns out that I've never really had I don't think anyone's really ever had such access to people like that. And then whether you're an individual or you're a media celebrity, the one thing that Twitter's offering more than any one other platform is a two-way communication, and it's really having a very profound effect on a lot of things. So anyway, I'm doing the next set of events. I'm doing an event in London and in Los Angeles. And there's a rumor I might do this conference here in Israel. I can't confirm or deny that, but if you know,
I'll be screening press inquiries.
But if you happen to know any interesting people who are using Twitter in their daily job and it's affecting, people who are being affected by the real-time internet doing interesting things, please bring it to my attention, because I'm I'm looking for new set of characters to cast in my next set of events. But anyway, if you could, please take some time and find people who you don't know and introduce yourself, whether you want to do it formally with tagging or not, but make sure you find 5 random strangers and say hello, because I think that the serendipity of Twitter and the opportunity to meet people here is pretty unique. There are people, I know, a friend of mine, David Bloomberg came in from San Francisco to be here. He's looking to give away some money, so you want to avoid him. But thank you for coming, and for everyone else, what? I'd like to thank Aroma for hosting us and not letting me use the PA. But but all of you, thanks for coming, and please network, please find some people who you don't know and connect. I think it's that randomness that helps. I'm writing a book called Get Yourself Lucky, and I believe that being lucky is being in the right place at the right time. And the book that I'm working on is helping you get yourself to the right place. Because I figure if you get yourself to the right place, everything else can happen. And right now, I believe this is the right place if you want to get lucky in business. So thanks for coming. Good morning, and I hope to see you guys soon.
And if anyone has the registration forms that I don't have, can I have them?